Welcome everyone. I'm going to be covering the slow twins today, that being both Slow King and Slow Bro and Mega Slow Bro. So, first things first, I want to get out of the way is that I made it so that Slow King can very much compete with Slowbro, despite the fact that Slowbro has a Mega. So you might be thinking, typically Slowbro is considered the better Pokemon overall because of the stat distribution, although Slowking in recent years has become better with like the teleport regen stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, like Slowbro is usually better. Um, and at the end of the day, they had very minor differences between them, only very minor move pool differences, and then their special defense and defense was swapped, and that was literally it. And that was kind of boring. So I actually made a lot more differences between them. And so, despite the fact that Mega Slowbro has the fact that, gosh, let me slow down. Despite the fact that Slowbro has a Mega and a very good one at that, Slow King is still genuinely viable over Slowbro. Um, so the reason why I can get into that. So the line as a whole has obviously they keep Regenerator. It is their ability. It's a great ability. Um, I don't need to explain why it's good. It's extremely useful. Awesome stuff right there. But the first difference is so two differences. Number one, Slow King has 110 special stats. Slow Bro has only 100 special attack and then 110 defense. So essentially, Slow King has 10 less physical attack than Slow Bro, but Slow King has 10 more special attack than Slow Bro. So basically, Slow Bro has 10 more attack, Slow King has 10 more special attack. That does make Slow Bro a genuinely viable mix attacker, which I'll get into in a little bit. But that also makes it so Slow King has arguably better stat distribution. For a fully evolved Pokemon. Obviously, Slowbro has the Mega, which is why I did that, and also just because again, Slow King should be more of a special attacker than Slowbro. So that's really cool. But the main thing, so basically, what I'm trying to say here, they all have Regenerator. Okay, so both Slow King and Slowbro have Regenerator because that they should both have Regenerator. But the main difference in abilities is that Slowbro has Unaware, while Slow King has a new ability called Hubris, which is Special Moxie, and that also works in doubles. It's repurposed from Soul Heart, so you're going to be getting special attack boosts in doubles as well when something faints, or if something faints to residual damage, like from Whirlpool or something, you'll get that special attack boost. But mostly it's just special Moxie unless you're doing doubles, which are pretty frequent, but not that frequent. There's maybe a handful of double boss fights in the main story, and then the post game Rainbow Rocket fights are pretty much all going to be double battles for the most part. Maybe at least every other one will be a double battle. So since those are post game, they can be like really challenging. Not that the main game will be challenging, but those can be like because doubles with really strong mons can get super hectic really quickly. So point being, unaware hubris is arguably better than oh god I cannot speak. Hubris is arguably a better ability than unaware. But however, unaware is still a great ability. So hubris allows Slowking to snowball sweep very easily. Especially with Shell Smash. Shell Smash is very funny. But you have Nasty Plot, you have Calm Mind, you have dual stab priority in the form of Influx and Bubble Shot. So that's great for slower sets with Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. You have tons of good coverage moves that I'll cover, and Slow King actually gets all of the moves that Slowbro does besides level up, but it gets all the TMs. So Slow King gets all of these TMs as well as these exclusive TMs that Slowbro cannot get. And one of those really important ones is Parting Shot. So I made it so Slowbro can't get Parting Shot because he's kind of dopey and he's too unaware. He's too oblivious to be able to fucking use Parting Shot, in my opinion. But Slow King, he already got Nasty Vlad, so I totally see Parting Shot on him. And Parting Shot makes it so he has Regenerated Parting Shot, which is an extremely useful tool. He's slow as fuck, 25 base speed, so that's basically like teleport levels of speed. If you look at the speed tier guide, they are some of the slowest fully evolved Pokemon in the hack so far. There will be slower mons, but they are definitely in the lower 5% of mons in terms of speed. If you see here, it's like Slowbro, it's all the slow twins, Muck, Quagsire, Tangrowth, Licky, all of these ones are like below base 40 speed. These guys are very slow. So that's basically like teleport. So that's awesome. And then of course you drop their attacking stats. So Regenerated Parting Shot, Slowking is extremely, extremely useful. I really can't understate how good that is on Slowking, and that's genuinely making it so that Mega Slowbro, yeah, while it's amazing, and also Unaware has its own use. Don't get me wrong, like Unaware is a great ability. I mean, there's so many boosting Pokemon in the hack. There's so many boosting moves. There's so much stuff that being completely immune to that is invaluable. So what you can actually do is you can swap your abilities infinitely. You can cycle between them with ability capsule from the beginning of the hack. I think I called it. What did I name it? Abilities changer, I think is what it's called. So you use the ability changer and you can change your abilities. It will not expire. So you can just swap between regenerate or unaware. And of course trainers also abuse this. So trainers can abuse unaware on you. Anytime the trainer has unaware, it's a great ability to have because it just stops sweeping in its tracks. So I have a lot of other anti-setup stuff to make it harder to sweep, especially with the nerfed PP and stuff on setup moves, but it's still pretty reasonable to do, especially because especially if you know what you're doing, where you use the tips that I give in these videos. But yeah, unaware and then hubris on Slowking, and of course Slowking has more special attack and more special defense, while Slowbro has more physical attack and physical defense. Slowbro still has really good bulk. Slowking still has really good bulk. 95, 85, 110, and then 95, 110, 85. Good bulk overall. And then Slowpoke had really weirdly garbage stats for some reason. So he has very even stats now. He has good special bulk. He's actually the slowest Pokemon in hack, tied with Snorlax, which is kind of funny. There will be one slower Pokemon, I know, and then there'll be about a couple more that are tied at base 10. But they're in definitely the lowest tier of speed, which obviously makes sense. And with that, you have access to a lot of awesome stuff. Because also, that was not English. Gosh, that was just gibberish. You evolve in a very unique way. So typically I make it so branched evolutions evolve either at day or night or with a gem, holding a gem. So I can control the level they evolve at, because if I keep these items, I would have to not only waste valuable Pokemart slots on items like, King's Rock, Firestone, whatever the fuck. I would also have to deal with all of the overworld stuff because I can't change overworld items. So I can't make it so that you can't pick up an item here or an item from fishing. So it's much easier to control when the player can get access to Pokemon if they evolve they either evolve by level up, gem level up, stat distribution, or day and night, and then a couple of other unique methods. But overall, it's mostly those methods. So it's Slowpoke's case, it evolves depending on its defense stats. So it has base 70. So basically, its attack and defense are equal. So if your defense is higher than your attack, you get Slowbro. If your defense is lower than your attack, you get Slowking. That's the logic. Mostly just because Slowbro is the more physically defensive of the two. So the logic was, okay, if your Slowpoke has more defense, then you get Slowbro. And that's very easy to control. Again, because you have access to infinite EV training items, you can just use the EV decreasing berries. And these are all free items, by the way, essentially free. You can just use them infinitely. So you can just make it so that you can pick which evolution you get, essentially. The only case where you won't be able to pick, I think, is if you had, for example, a lonely, okay, let's put 65 base attack and special attack, and let's put a lonely, put lonely, and then 0 IVs in defense. I don't think, and then level 30. So even if you run max EVs, yeah, you are slightly lower. Even if you run max defense in that case, you are at 55 base defense and 58 base attack, so you'll always be getting Slowking that way. But that's very unlikely that you get a lonely 0 IV defense, 31 IV attack. That's not likely whatsoever. Vice versa goes for bold, although if you did have a bold 0 IV and attack 1, you would probably want... I mean, it's good for both Slowbro and Slowking, honestly, but the fact that you can't choose in those two very hyper-specific circumstances is not a big deal to me. Overall, you'll be able to pick. And if you're not doing a Nuzlocke, you can always just catch another one if you got that lucky, or unlucky rather. Let's say you really wanted to use Slowking and then you got the lonely nature, the bold nature one with the 0 IVs and whatever, then you can always just catch another one. And if you're doing a Nuzlocke, then I would say just use what you're given. That's the fate. That's the nature of a Nuzlocke. So that's that. So I gave Slowking a lot of other amazing tools over Slowbro because of the fact that Slowbro has an amazing Mega. So before I talk about the nitty-gritty and the moves and stuff, this is going to be very all over the place. I'm very sorry for those of you who are only looking for specific explanations. There's a lot of differences between the two, so I do want to talk about them, but I also want to talk about Mega Slowbro. So basically, with Mega Slowbro, which will be available relatively late, Mega Slowbro keeps the base 180 defense, which is the same as Cloyster's base defense, because again, this is technically a Cloyster, although I wish they made this a real Pokemon. I wish they made a regional Cloyster that looked like, what's its fucking name, Tuban? It's the Turban, they called it Turban or something. it's like the giant shell mom with the big mouth. In Gen 1, there's like a beta design. Anyways, this is unrelated. Um, so you have a great 180 base defense stat still. However, I did rework Mega Slowbro to be bulkier and have more physical attack and much less special attack, just because logically I don't see why its special attack would increase at all upon Mega Evolving. I think it should still be weaker than Slowking. 100, so basically it has 95 base attack now because it's this huge, it's got this giant shell armor. It can probably slam its body around and shit. And then it has even higher special defense stat now. So you could argue this stat distribution is actually better because it is bulkier. Mega Slowbro. Mega Slowbro has 95, 180, 105 bulk, which is incredible. They lose Regenerator because if I gave them Regenerator, it would be ridiculous and it would make Mega Slowbro like much better than Slowking. So they have two great abilities though. So what they do have is Shell Armor, which if you've watched my other videos, you're aware of the abilities like Ruthless and all of the 100% critical hit rate moves. Shell Armor makes you completely, not immune to them, obviously, but it completely makes it so they don't critical hit rate. What am I trying to say? It makes it so they don't crit you, okay? So if you go to these moves, sorry, what am I trying to show? That's the TM tutors. Also, this needs to get deleted. That is an extra sheet. All right, there we go. Where is it? Ruthless. So all of these moves will always crit. These moves will crit half the time. With Sculpins, they will always crit. So Shell Armor makes you completely immune to those. So being a very good check to Ruthless Pokemon is an amazing tool for Mega Slowbro. And also, Shell Armor is useful not only just to not have to worry about crits, but also because if you want to set up stuff like Meditate or Amnesia or Iron Defense, if you want to set up that kind of thing, you can really Calm Mind, whatever. You don't have to worry about getting crit through those boosts with Shell Armor, so that's really awesome. And then your other ability is Bulletproof. Bulletproof, I think nobody's going to question the logic of that. It fits very well. Bulletproof is incredible. So Bulletproof, basically what you're going to be using is you're going to be swapping between these abilities whenever you need it. So say the opponent has a Ruthless Pokemon, a Ruthless Beedrill in front of you. Oh no. Okay, then run Shell Armor on your Mega Slowbro. Say the opponent has a boosting Pokemon. Okay, run Unaware Base Slowbro. Say you want Regenerator, run Regenerator. You can always switch your options around. You have a lot of customizability in this hack, which is awesome. It really rewards people who think through things and like are strategic with what they use. Obviously, you can always just use whatever you want, and that'll be fine too. It's all fun, but you do get a lot more leverage out of your abilities if you swap between them. So, for example, oh crap, this trainer has bulletproof moves. So with bulletproof, your Mega Slowbro is immune to a lot of amazing moves, all right? And I mean a lot of them. And immune, all right? Completely immune. So you take 0 damage. The only other 2 bulletproof mons currently are Rhyperior and Cloyster, but of course there will be more Pokemon that will gain the bulletproof as I get to more and more changes. Take a sip of my drink. So you have access to triple cannon. So sorry, what am I trying to say? You're immune to these moves. So first, I'm going to list the moves that you're weak to that are super effective on you. So Bug Bomber is a bug type version, a special bug type version of Surging Strikes, which are also 90% accurate. So that is incredible. You are immune to that because you're weak to Bug Bomber. That's great to have. You're also immune to Zap Cannon and Electro Ball. Zap Cannon is a move that works like Hybrid Beam and Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor used to give you -2 special attack. It still does. But basically, I created a bunch of new moves that do that same effect. Rock Wrecker has that same effect as well, which is also a bulletproof move. I cannot change what moves are affected by bulletproof, so all I could do was just keep the ones that were already blocked, and then all of the quote-unquote new attacks were just attacks that were already blocked by bulletproof that I made into new moves. So, yeah, you are immune to you're immune to Bug Bomber. You're immune to Zap Cannon, which again is a 150 base power move that drops your special attack step by 2. And a lot of electric types, pretty much every electric type that's special attacking has access to Zap Cannon and other mons. So you're completely immune to that. You completely stonewall it. Takes 0 damage. Electro Ball boosts your speed stat by 1. So that's a great move that you'll be seeing. And that is also you're very slow. So Electro Ball will do a lot of damage to Mega Slowbro as well. So being completely immune to that is amazing. And then you're also immune to the very common attacks. So extremely common attacks such as Shadow Ball and Energy Ball and Seed Bomb and Bullet Seed, all of which you are weak to as Slowbro, are completely immune. So you go from being weak to Bug Bomber, Zap Cannon, Electro Ball, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, Seed Bomb, and Bullet Seed to being completely immune. An amazing ability. Really, really good. You also are immune to even moves that you resist. So, for example, you resist moves like Triple Cannonade, which is the same as Bug Bomber, but physical and Steel type. Magnetic Burst is a Steel type special priority move. Gyro Ball is the same thing, but does -2 speed now. All of these moves, Searing Shot is strong. Like you Focus Blast, Aura Sphere, you resist those moves, but it still is better to take 0 damage from something because of how powerful Pokemon are now. Like a very strong resist a hit is still going to do a lot of damage, and that will add up over time. So getting that free switch into your Slowbro is still an amazing tool to have, nonetheless. And then you also are immune to a lot of neutral moves. So like Mud Bomb is 110 base power, 90% accuracy, lower speed. Sludge Shot is special poison priority. Scum Shot is like a very unique move that I'm not even gonna waste time covering right now, but it's a pretty good move. It's a good move. Just I'll cover that when I get to a Pokemon that has it, or if you want to watch other videos of Pokemon that have it, such as like Muck and Weezing and stuff, and like Tentacruel, all those videos you can go watch. Actually, Muck videos aren't done yet. I have to record those, but yeah. All of these moves you're immune to, okay? You can see the list right here if you come on the stream. There's tons more, not the stream, the video. You can always look at these, and yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, it's very common moves, especially this bottom row. These bottom row are extremely common moves that you're going to be seeing very often. So yeah, super, super awesome ability and bulletproof. And then Shell Armor, I already explained why that's amazing as well. And the best part is you can just switch between them and use whichever one is more beneficial to you in that situation. So you know, there's not always going to be a use for bulletproof. There's not always going to be used for shell armor, but they are amazing abilities nonetheless. So that's Mega Slowbro. Okay, it's very bulky, and you do have some exclusive moves as Slowbro. Not too many. The only exclusive move you have really is Withdraw, and Power Trick. Power Trick is a very funny move on Slowbro. Base Slowbro can use Power Trick and get 110 attack. Base 110 attack. Mega Slowbro can use Power Trick and get 180 base attack, which is kind of funny. It's a little bit of a meme, but you can totally do it for the meme if you want. Slowking gets a lot of exclusive moves that I will cover now. So not only do you get Parting Shots, you also get more coverage. So as Slowking, you get stuff like Dazzling Gleam, Mystical Fire. I mean, you already had Flame Blur and Fire Blast, but you know, Mystical Fire is nice for utility. Flash Cannon, Sucker Punch for physical sets. Despite having a 75 base attack, it is a usable attack stat. Another really important move that you have as Slowking is King Shield. I know it seems kind of weird, but I think that they can like use their Psychic Turban as like King Shield. There will be a couple other Pokemon with King Shield, like Bastiodon, maybe Bishar, because of like the chest set at the Bishop. Bastiodon obviously because it's a shield. You know, random Pokemon like that, like Gallade maybe because it's like a knight. That kind of mon, those kinds of mons will get King Shield, which is just a nice move to have. It's protect, but it gives -2 attack if you're hit by contact. So, or actually, I think if you're hit in general by a physical move. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's either contact or physical moves. Sometimes it's hard to remember because they change it with the other moves. Like I know Obstruct might only be contact, and like Baneful Bunker and Flicker Shield is only contact, so it's kind of hard to tell. And I'm too lazy to Google it. But the point is, King Shield is great. Slowking also gets exclusive access to Power Trip at level 40, which is very early. Power Trip will give you +1 attack, so you can use that with like physical sets such as Belly Drum. You also have very good physical coverage. You have Razor Shell upon evolution. You have Think Fast on Slowking. Think Fast is a 55 base power +2 priority physical psychic move. So you can use Think Fast plus Belly Drum on Slowking, which is amazing. You can also do like Hubris Power Trip stuff. Despite the fact that you're not using the special attack boosts, you can still get that Power Trip and power to increase, which is cool. Belch is really cool. It will give you +1 special attack if you eat a berry. You have all of this amazing coverage. I'm not even going to bother. It gets coverage for basically every type in the game, both physically and especially for the most part. Amazing coverage moves. Haze plus Unaware is great on Slowbro. They of course have Slack Off for reliable recovery. Healing items are disabled in battle in this hack, so you're going to want that for healing purposes. Power Gem is very good coverage on Slowking as well. So you have like exclusive moves there. Speed Swap is a really cool move, so Speed Swap is priority. Also Withdraw on Slowbro is a good exclusive because Withdraw will give you +1 to both defenses, so you can use Withdraw Shell Armor on Mega Slowbro and just become super bulky and not get crit. You can also use Amnesia to make your 105 base BDF extremely high and keep your base 180 defense, and you can't be crit, so it's really hard to break you. And of course you have Slack Off for healing. Speed Swap is really cool on Slowking because you have a 25 base speed, so you can essentially Speed Swap is priority, so you can actually use this to swap your 25 base speed onto an opponent and then get whatever speed stat they have, and you can use that to sweep with Hubris, which is really awesome. So you can use like Calm Mind Speed Swap on like a 110 base speed Pokemon. Now you have 110 base speed and you keep your bulk and you have Hubris, and now you can sweep. So oh my god, I'm fighting a really fast Pokemon, just speed swap it and now you have the speed stat. It's a really cool move. It is gimmicky and it is gonna take up a valuable move slot, and you don't have the move learner until post game, or actually sorry, until the league. So it is definitely a little bit of a liability, but it is a great move nonetheless, and it's definitely worth it. I think also the Z effect gives you a speed boost as well, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure it gives you +3 speed now, so that's awesome. You have very good physical stab moves. You learned the physical stab moves earlier. You also have stored power, which is incredible on them. At level 64 they get stored power, and stored power is really insane on them. So you also have Z Mind Reader on Slowking only, and this new move, which is semi-exclusive, called Hocus Pocus. It's a funny name. Slowking, which is another exclusive thing that Slowking only gets. Again, to make it so that it is worth using over Mega Slowbro. So Slowking has Hocus Pocus, and this move is really powerful. It is a priority 200 base power move that you can only use once. So basically, Hocus Pocus, 200 base power, it has 2 PP, and it's a priority. I probably should make that 1 PP, shouldn't I? Oh no, that is 1 PP. It's +2 priority. Yeah. I mixed up. This is priority. This is PP. So yeah, it is only 1 PP. However, that's the same power as like a Z move. That's a very strong Z move at that. And you don't have to run Z crystals. So you can run like Specs, Hocus Pocus, or not Specs actually, but like Life Orb or Psychic Gem, Hocus Pocus, and you get like a 230 base power move that has +2 priority. Again, that's only one-time use, but it's still a very, very, very powerful option, especially with Hubris. You can use Hocus Pocus and get a free Hubris boost. Essentially free. I mean, you're very fast with this priority move, so that's awesome. You can also use Z Mind Reader, which will give you +3 special attack, and you can then click inaccurate moves such as Whirlpool, which is 80% accuracy and 130 base power, and will trap for a consistent amount of turns. So you can use Z Mind Reader into Whirlpool. Z Mind Reader is also excellent with stored power. Obviously, Nasty Plot is only 1 less special attack than Mind Reader, but Z Mind Reader also bypasses Taunt, which is cool. So yeah, Z Mind Reader, you bypass Taunt, you won't miss your next move, which you can use for cool stuff. And then with stored power, so if you use 1 single Calm Mind, stored power becomes 60 base power. If you use Z Mind Reader for +2 special attack, stored power becomes 80 base power. And stored power is the same as Power Trip in that it is 20 base power, but it gains 20 base power for every stat boost. And now what I did with those moves is they have 3 PP, but you get +1 special attack each time you click that move. So Psychic stored power, which is stab, will get +1 special attack each time you click it, and that can work great with stuff like Calm Mind or Amnesia or all these other moves. It's really, really awesome to have that as an option. So that's really awesome with stored power. You also have Shell Smash, like I said, which is kind of a funny little meme I gave them. I think it fits pretty well. I mean, if fucking Gorbis and Huntail can have it, I think it makes sense on Slowbro too. Obviously, I know that Gorbis and Huntail have it from what's the word? Clamperl, sorry. But it's still kind of a niche thing. Also, Regenerator Future Sight is extremely powerful because Future Sight is actually 160 base power now. So yeah, Regen, Parting Shot, Future Sight on fucking Slowking is incredible. You can get that Future Sight off, you can Parting Shot out, drop their offensive stats, get that Regenerator recovery, and then now boom, now they're taking a 160 base power stab move 2 turns later. You can also use King Shield in conjunction with Future Sight, which is why it lands it at the same level. So King Shield, Future Sight, Parting Shot, amazing combination right there with Regenerator, super awesome, super fun to use. I would personally prefer Slowking, but again, it depends on your team. And also, I know Slowbro is, again, incredible with Bulletproof Shell Armor on the Mega, and then Unaware is a great ability on base Slowbro, and you do have more physical defense, so it's not like Slowbro's bad or anything, it is amazing. I just wanted to give Slowking some stuff to keep up with Slowbro. And they do evolve at level 30, which is a very early evolution compared to their old evolution level. Obviously, they evolved way too late, and Slowpoke had terrible stats. I could cover even more. I mean, you have Belly Drum. So what you can do is actually you can run Belly Drum, and then what am I trying to say here? Slowbro doesn't have any physical priority, so Belly Drum is kind of on it. But I mean, you could always use like Belly Drum at a Tricker or something if you wanted. But Belly Drum is really impressive on Slowking because of the fact that you have actual priority. So Slowking has Sucker Punch, and it has Think Fast. Think Fast being Stab and 55 base power +2 priority. So you can use Belly Drum plus those moves on Slowking. So despite the fact that Slowking has 10 less attack than Slowbro, it is a better Belly Drum user, which is cool as well. And it learns that early on. Most Pokemon learn Belly Drum later, but because they are special attackers or specially biased mixed attackers, rather, I wanted to give them a Belly Drum earlier on, just to be able to use that. Shell Smash sounds incredible. It is cool and fun, but it's actually not that great. Shell Smash stored power is insane, but you're going to need some more speed control because 25 base speed with Shell Smash is still not very fast. So say, for example, you have a neutral nature Slowking or Slowbro. At +2 speed, you're only hitting 172 speed, which is pretty pathetic. If you're running max investment in a neutral nature, now you're at 298 speed, which is actually pretty decent. And if you have a Jolly nature, or a so not Jolly specifically, just any plus speed nature, you hit 326 speed. And now you're actually talking. Now you can actually maybe sweep some battles. Not really though, because again, base 100 speed is 328. and I believe I said it was 326, right? 25. Yeah, 326. So you don't even have speed base 100. So if you have a max speed plus speed nature, Slowking or Slowbro with a shell smash up, you're still not outspeeding base 100, but you do outspeed like base 90s and stuff. So for very specific boss fights, you can actually sweep. You can also use shell smash in conjunction with priority bubble shot and influx with stored power if you want. So like for example, you can use the priority influx or bubble shot on the frailer Pokemon that's faster, and then on the Pokemon that you actually do outspeed, you can use Shell Smash on those ones. And of course, stored power with Shell Smash is incredible because you have 6 stat boosts. So that will become what, 140 base power? Yeah, 140 base power. And then that will get +1 special attack and go even higher in base power each time you click it for a maximum of 3 uses. So yeah, stored power Shell Smash is awesome. I think I covered about everything. I mean, you have other stuff like, Psychic Terrain with regen is nice for early game. It's nice for Hala. If I do make it fishable, there's only like 10 or 20 slots for fishing encounters on the first island. So, or actually catchable rather. It'd probably just be a catchable mon on the shore of the beach. So that's really cool. What else is there? Tons of great coverage. I'm not going to waste time listing all these off, but you guys can see what all these do. If you go to the sheet yourself, you can check it out. If you click search all moves here, that's awesome. There's a bunch of little smaller interactions with some of these moves. So like it is all very good. I do get physical moves early, like Surging Strikes. Actually, I wanted to remove that. I thought that was weird. Let me just put this at 56 instead, and then change that up real quick. I made a note to myself when I was doing Quagsire to also remove Surging Strikes from them because I felt like it doesn't fit those 2 months. Hold on. Oh, bro. 56 is Psycho Warp instead. Psycho Warp and Waterfall are Water type and Psychic type close combat respectively, by the way, if you're curious. So that's really cool. No more surging, come on. Sorry, this will take a little second. Warp. Sorry, everybody. I should not be doing this on stream. Oh, another awesome thing you could do actually with Regenerator is you can abuse Hydro Cannon and Psycho Boost. So there's a reason I made those moves at level 70. It's because with Regenerator they are incredible because these moves are 150 base power and they drop your special attack stat by 2. Okay, so what you can do is you can use those with Regenerator and basically you use those moves once or twice. 150 base power, second hit is 75 base power, and then you get that Regenerator recovery after you switch out. So that's really, really good with Psycho Boost and Hydro Cannon. Really, really awesome moves with Regenerator. Great synergy. Let me quickly just remove these. Come on. Last one is on Slowking. 56, no more surging, and then 56 should be Psycho Break. There we go. Or Psycho Warp, rather. All right, that's about it. I don't think there's too much else to cover. I mean, you have Meditate, which is so you have Bulk Up and Calm Mind on Slowbro, and then Slowking has the same moves as well as Nasty Plot. But you also have Meditate on both of them. Meditate gives you +1 special defense and +1 attack. So it's kind of like a mix between Calm Mind and Bulk Up, which is cool. So that can be really good on physical Slowbro. It can really take advantage of Meditate nicely. Again, Withdraw is amazing. King Shield is amazing on Slowking. Yeah, I don't think it's too much else to cover. I think I covered about everything. There's a lot of useful TMs here, and Tutor's very, very useful coverage. I did give them Fire Punch because they already learned Flamethrower and Fire Blast, so why the fuck not? They do have the Fangs, so like Psychic Fangs and stuff is nice for stab, physical, early game as well. And on Slowpoke, your attack set is only 5 points lower than your special attack, so you can really make use of the mixed sets there. I didn't give the Mako Jet because it doesn't really make sense, and I only gave Think Fast to Slowking because he's like super smart, but it's not, Slowbro is not very smart at all, obviously. Yeah, I think that's really it, honestly. Not too much else to cover. So I really do appreciate everybody for listening. And I hope this was entertaining. I hope that you find these changes to be satisfactory. I hope that you found it informative, most importantly. And then I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing. It would help with the algorithm if you could subscribe and leave comments on the videos and like the videos and stuff. It really does help get my videos recommended to more people. And then the more people see my videos, the more people will see my hack, the more people will play it. That would be really fun and awesome for me. So if you could do that, that'd be really helpful. If you enjoyed, obviously. I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody who didn't care or doesn't like the video to do that. But if you like this kind of thing, I think that would be helpful. Yeah, really, that's about it. So thank you so much, everybody. And I'll be back for more.